We're back again with another stimulus check update for you for today, Sunday, August 23rd of 2020. And make sure you watch this video all the way through to the end of the video. That way you don't miss out on a special bonus that I have in store for you at the end of the video. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. The more thumbs up we get on the video, the better. So that way YouTube can promote it. More people can see the video. Make sure you subscribe using the big red button below, because today we have a special treat for you. We're going to be talking about the second stimulus check update. We have some good news because it's gaining support in Congress. And we have statements from Congress also on the second stimulus check. And this is your second stimulus check update. And firstly, we're going to be talking about some of the congressmen's statements concerning the vote yesterday on the post office to give them $25 billion, which the House of Representatives had took a vote on. And we're going to go over their statements too also as well. And I'm going to give you my take on what I think about all of this. And first up, we're going to be listening in to what the White House Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, had to say about a deal on a stimulus check between him and the other three negotiators. As you know, the other three negotiators are Steven Mnuchin, Treasury Secretary, Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House, and Chuck Schumer, the minority leader in the Senate for the Democrats. So let's listen in and hear what Mark Meadows basically had to say yesterday at the Capitol.
Democrats, the vast majority of Democrats and Republicans agree that we can do something to extend the PPP program that's been so successful for small businesses and actually reach in and handle that. We can actually put some money aside to handle those underserved communities that perhaps are in communities that felt like they got left out the first time. We agree on that. We can actually come up with a number that I believe that postal workers and Republicans and Democrats could agree would fix the postal system. I even think that we can come up with an agreement on stimulus checks to Americans and enhance unemployment. Those issues are not as divisive as we might think. And then lastly, I think there's a real willingness to help with our kids, whether it be with schools and the funding for schools or the funding for daycare in this unprecedented time. And so we've made great progress on all of those areas. So, and yet the talks continue to be stalled over a number that continues to get articulated by Democrats here in Congress that really they don't have a basis in terms of what supports those numbers.
So basically, that's what Mark Meadows had to say about the stalled negotiations between him, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, Nancy Pelosi, and Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. And as you heard him say, there is agreement amongst everyone on the stimulus check. So, you know, basically he's saying that they should pass something that everyone can agree on. Okay. Now, President Trump's Chief of Staff, Mark Meadows, he was on the Capitol Hill. He was meeting with the GOP House Leader, Kevin McCarthy, and other lawmakers. Now, Meadows and Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, they've served as Republican negotiators during recent aid negotiations with Democrat Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. Now, when the two sides could not agree to terms on a wide-ranging package expected to include $1,200 stimulus checks, Trump took actions into his own hands. He issued 4 executive orders. Actually, it was 1 executive order and 3 Miranda. They were designed to give temporary relief to Americans, offering $300 per week in jobless benefits and some other aid. Meadows spoke to the media Saturday, indicating the ball is in the court of Democratic leadership when it comes to passing a package. Meadows said, "I even think that we can come up with an agreement on stimulus checks to Americans and enhanced unemployment. Those issues are not as divisive as we may think. Let's at least pass what we can all agree to." Now, the idea of a second round of $1,200 stimulus checks, it has bipartisan support right now, with Trump even saying the amount of the stimulus check could go higher than the $1,200. Trump said during a July visit to West Texas, "I like to see it very high because I love the people. I want the people to get it. You know, the economy is going to come back. We saved millions of lives, but now we're bringing the economy back. We got to take care of the people in the meantime." Now, a Democrat serving the area around Anaheim, California, a representative by the name of Lou Correa, who's also a member of Congress, said, "My job is to keep fighting to make sure that the next package of stimulus relief comes to happen." Democratic Representative Joe Cunningham of South Carolina, he said, "It's been frustrating for me to watch this unfold as it has. I would encourage everyone to remain at the negotiating table and hammer out a deal, recognizing that not everyone is going to get everything they want. Do not let perfect be the enemy of good." And I really agree with that statement too also as well, because that statement that Representative Joe Cunningham made is a perfect description of what Nancy Pelosi is doing right now. Okay, she's trying to be perfect as far as in the eyes of her Democratic colleagues. Okay, and by trying to get the entire HEROES Act passed, but she's kind of in a way being the enemy of the good, because she's not allowing any of the offers from the Republicans or the White House to be made into a deal by her not agreeing to any of the offers that was offered to her. And because of that, we have not gotten our stimulus checks yet. Okay, so Nancy Pelosi is pretty much holding this up right now, and she's been holding this up for a while now. Okay, now we also have a statement from a Representative Michael Guest of Mississippi. He said, "I believe it's important to look at things we can do to stimulate the economy with things like stimulus checks, but also make sure that we are not continuing to add trillions of dollars of debt that will have to be paid by our children and grandchildren." So a lot of the Republicans in the Senate kind of don't want to add any more money to the debt. So that's why Mitch McConnell, a few weeks ago, he said that 15 to 20 of the Republicans in the Senate will not support any type of stimulus package. Okay, so that's still not lost hope there, because that means that the majority of the Republicans in the Senate, they support a stimulus package and stimulus checks to Americans. Now, the Republican who won his seat in 2018, referring back to Representative Michael Guest of Mississippi, he was a Trump supporter, and he noted that he would only be interested in supporting a scaled down version of an aid package. So he will not support any type of package that is like the HEROES Act, any $3.4 trillion package. It has to be scaled down. Who knows? He didn't mention a price tag or anything, but in my assumption, he may be talking about somewhere around $1 trillion to $1.5 trillion. Now, Meadows had told reporters yesterday that he went to Pelosi's office hoping to meet with her so that way he can discuss additional aid. He was told by her colleagues that she was in a meeting, but he does plan to make another attempt to go back to the bargaining table in the days to come. So basically, I just wanted to give you more of these congressmen's statements, just to let you know that a lot of the Democrats who are Nancy Pelosi's colleagues are really not happy with her right now. Okay. They don't like her idea of passing a $25 billion standalone piecemeal bill. Okay. Without passing a bill to help the American people out with stimulus checks. Now, Nancy Pelosi, like I said before, she rejected all the offers from the White House on extending the $600 unemployment, providing stimulus checks to Americans, business funding through the PPP program, which benefits small businesses and benefits workers who work for those businesses also, and stimulus checks because she doesn't want a piecemeal or small bill. But what happened yesterday in the House of Representatives? They took a vote, right, to give the post office a $25 billion to basically have a person who runs the post office that they do not even trust, but yet still they wanted to give him $25 billion. But she passed this piecemeal bill anyway to give the $25 billion to the post office. And she didn't want to pass a piecemeal bill to give us stimulus checks. Okay, so it kind of shows the hypocrisy coming from Nancy Pelosi, how she, says one thing and she does another. She says she does not want to pass a small bill or piecemeal bill, meaning only one or two items in the bill, but yet still she passed a piecemeal bill that only has one item, $25 billion to the post office. Okay, now she's more concerned right now with keeping her job from what she showed all of America in yesterday's House of Representatives votes than helping the American people with stimulus checks. Okay. Now, people, I'm still very upset about all of this. I know there's a lot of good news, right, from these congressmen showing support, Republicans in the Senate showing support. Mitch McConnell even showed his support and said that, these people, they need to come back to the negotiating table and make a deal to give the American people stimulus checks. Donald Trump has even said, he's getting ready to get the Treasury Secretary ready to send out the stimulus checks to all Americans, $3,400 for a family of four. But Democrats are holding it up, right? All of this good news, but we still have Nancy Pelosi in the way, blocking everything. Okay, how long is she going to wait before she agrees to something, before she accepts an offer from the other side, so that way we can get our stimulus checks? Is she going to wait until it's closer to the election? Because that will only benefit Donald Trump, okay? Because the stimulus checks will be fresh in the minds of Americans, and Donald Trump is pretty much going to go on television and take full credit for passing all the stimulus, for us getting our stimulus checks, and it'll be fresh in the mind of everyone as they vote for who they want for president. Okay, but all I got to say to you folks is I still have the faith. I still believe in my heart that stimulus checks are still coming. Stimulus checks are still on the way. We will get them. But one thing that we really need to do, we need to stay on top of these politicians. I'm even talking about Nancy Pelosi too, Chuck Schumer, those Democrats, right? The Republicans in the Senate, especially. I mean, if you're in a state where you have a Republican senator, you need to, and you want your second stimulus check, you really need to pressure that senator, okay? So that way, you know, hopefully they can listen to their constituents and try to get something done. You know, really, they Mark Meadows said it's in the Democrats, the ball is in the Democrats' court, right? Well, it is also in the Senate's court also as well. They still have the HEROES Act in the Senate. Now, they can, if they want to, make adjustments to the HEROES Act and take out the things that they don't like out of the HEROES Act, put in, you know, whatever Mitch McConnell wants, business liability for businesses. They can put in a $400 unemployment extension instead of to replace the $600. They can take out all the other things about cannabis that they don't like. They can take out all the other things that, you know, that they mention on the media. And they can replace it with things that they want. And they can leave the things in there that they agree to. And then they can send it back over to the House and put it back in the House and leave it up to them to pass that final draft. So that way President Trump can sign something and we can get our stimulus checks. Okay. But folks, stay on top of these politicians, hold them accountable. Okay. If you don't have your local United States senator's phone number for your state, you can Google it. Senator and state, the name of your state, just Google it. It should pop up. Get his contact information, email him or her, call him on the phone. You know, we really need to make it a point that America is suffering right now. America needs their stimulus checks. Okay. We deserve it. We've been paying taxes for many years, and we deserve to be taken care of and to be protected against a pandemic that was entirely not our fault. So let me know what you think about all of this inside of the comments. Do you think it's up to the House of Representatives or the Democrats right now? Do you think it's up to the Senate right now to make things happen? Do you think it's up to Mark Meadows, even though he's been trying to contact Nancy Pelosi? He went to her office. He went on TV and made an offer, and she turned his offer down on the media, on national television. Stephen Mnuchin tried to contact. He contacted Nancy Pelosi, actually, and she turned him down point blank over the phone. Okay. Let me know, who's do you think it's up to right now? Who do you think can make the next move that will get us closer to these stimulus checks? So that's all I got for you folks. And make sure you join our Facebook group. It's free to join by using the link. Click the down arrow here and the description will open up. There's a link in the description to join the Facebook group. While you're in there, see other links for free money and other helpful resources. And from all of us here at the How to Get an 800 Credit Score LLC family, stay safe, be blessed. We'll see you in tomorrow's stimulus check update video. Bye for now. My name is Lyndon Baptiste, and on this channel we talk about ways to increase your credit score, build credit, and get approved for the lowest payments on mortgages and lines of credit, travel the world for free, earn extra money with cash back. And if that interests you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications. That way you'll never miss a single video as we make them.